Hey, here we go. I've got a Motorguide XI5, 80 pounds, 24 volts. And it just all of a sudden started grinding and grating. I figure, what do you got to lose? So I pulled it apart, and this is what I found on the prop end, which is this end. There's actually two bolts that go all the way through to the other cap. And I think they're 8 or 10 millimeters. You take those out. These are the bolts right here, just under, actually bolted into that cap is this coil right here where you've got the bushings. So that's a little bit more difficult to get to. There's a couple of M8 bolts underneath that you have to pull it out a little bit and squeeze in there to get those out. And then that will pull right off the prop end, and then the cap comes right off when you take those two bolts off, comes off the opposite end. Then you pull the stator out this opposite end of the prop, and there's the stator right there. What I found was one of the magnets had come loose inside. So if you can see in here, there's actually 4 magnets in there. 2 big magnets on one side, 2 big magnets on the other side. So the one magnet had come unglued, and it was actually dragging on the rotor as it was turning. So I pulled that out of there, took a file, kind of scraped the epoxy off the side, did the same thing on the magnet, scraped it, put a wire brush in there. Tried to get all that epoxy out there, because when you put the new one in, it's got to fit as tight as possible so it doesn't create interference with that rotating stator. So what I'm going to do is I did try placing that in there, and it doesn't want to stay in place, so I found just a bottle that I can stick in there. And to kind of guide the magnet as I put it in there, a couple spacers in here for these gaps where the screws go. There we go. So it can basically only go in when I slide it down the side. I'm using this Gorilla Glue epoxy. It says it's 3,300 psi bond strength. So I'm going to put that on all over the magnet and in there. And then I'm going to slide it down there, and I'm going to actually hold it tight against the housing for that 5 minutes. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if